Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. Hello, everybody. I'm Hoarder Gamer, and this is Hoarder's Comic Flex. It's good to see you all. I was planning if I was going to do that or not, and I was like, yeah, I think I should. It's Hoarder's Comic Flex, so got to have a flex or two in there, right? I mean, otherwise it's false advertising, and I don't want to be, considered someone to do false advertising, and then I'd be bringing shame to the Doom Squad Gaming YouTube channel. They'd be like, hey, we expected some sort of flex, and we didn't get one, and I'd feel terrible about that. I really would. We have a really awesome show for you today, and we got 2 comic book reviews. We got TV. We got toys. We have me. So buckle up, everybody. We have 2 reviews today, and we're actually going to start with our first comic book review for a book that I feel like a fool that I just sort of didn't read this book or check it out because I don't know why. It's gonna be difficult to see because of a yellowish cover, but Ice Cream Man, and you can actually see the Ice Cream Man on the cover. It's like multiple versions of this cover with this creepy Ice Cream Man on it. And Ice Cream Man is a book by Image. This is issue 29, so it's been going for a while. I guess over 2 years then, because I want to say it's monthly. I don't think it's twice a month. And wow, let's get into the review for Ice Cream Man number 29. Ice Cream Man number 29 review, written by Maxwell Prince, art by Martin Morazzo, and colors by Chris O'Halloran. Anyone that knows me knows that one of my favorite shows of all time is The Twilight Zone. Writer, creator, and host of one of the most influential and captivating programs of all time, Rod Serling took us on a sojourn into the psyche, into the soul, into fear, and possibly into hell itself. Each week he narrated fantastic tales of boys with psychic powers, possessed dolls, and a world where sometimes humans are the real monsters. Here, instead of Rod Serling, we have the innocuous-seeming Ice Cream Man. And issue 29 serves as the last will and testament of one William Parson. William's will is read by the Ice Cream Man. His possessions are bequeathed to his loved ones and friends, including the anxiety squid that lived in his body. I'll repeat that. The anxiety squid that lived in his body. His friend Corey talks to a bartender about his recently departed buddy, and the bartender has him go with a fox man. I'll repeat that again. A fox man, an anthropomorphic, 6 foot tall fox man, to a bizarre theme park called Willville. Being that apparently when we die, there's a weird theme park that our loved ones can go to and ride around in our memories. I feel bad for sleeping on this book. If you like bizarre things, this will be right down your dark, deserted alley. Prince makes the insane seem quaint as we travel with Corey. The art isn't showy, but it's clean and works brilliantly with the story. The colors complement this work of absurdity. If you like sci-fi, horror, or things that are crazy, definitely check out Ice Cream Man number 29. Yeah, Ice Cream Man number 29 was awesome. Like I said, it's been going probably about 2.5 years. And there's a number of trades. In June, they have like a special hardcover book coming out with the first 12 issues. It's called The Sundae, Sundae, Ice Cream Man Sunday. But yeah, if you like horror or any of those things I mentioned, I highly recommend you check it out. It is really cool. And I'm surprised it isn't an AMC or Netflix series. You know? It's really well done. It's impressive. Now, we're going to talk TV, everybody. We're going to talk a little bit about Moon Knight. I thought it was a great episode. I'm going to try to avoid spoilers as best as I can, but there's going to be some spoilers here, so I need to warn you. So, Steven and Layla continue their journey. It takes them to a tomb. I'm not going to say whose. That's a nice reveal. And things go wonky in a very fun way. And Steven finds an alternate pathway through the tomb. There's a great almost Sam Raimi moment with Layla and I want to say canopic priest. Canopic priest being the priests that removed organs ceremonially when someone died. There's a great moment with a flare and a canopic priest. And it's very much in the vein of Sam Raimi. Harrow shows up, has an interesting conversation with Layla. And Steven wakes up in unfamiliar surroundings. Hey, Spring Rolls, how you doing? I was just talking about Moon Knight. It was really good. Now we're going to get into spoiler territory, everybody. Again, I don't like to ruin everything, so we're going to leave some things vague. But get ready for spoilers. They're about to be incoming, so here we go. Here we go. This won't be too long, too, just real briefly. Hippo God. Hippo God, Taweret. Taweret is the god of waters and rebirth, which makes a lot of sense when you watch what happens in the second half of the Moon Knight episode. I want to say that Taweret was also the Egyptian statue that was destroyed and lost. And that was one of the reasons people thought that you couldn't, that women could not become pregnant on the island. The destruction of that statue. Now, it could also be nuclear fallout from the incident that occurred in the 1960s. But I don't want to go into too much detail on Lost if you haven't seen it. I really liked it. I know a lot of people hated it, but I really liked Lost. So, hey Doom, how you doing? Just talking about Moon Knight and spoiler, the Hippo God Taweret, and the connection there to Lost. Also, another connection to Lost. Amit is very similar to the way the smoke monster acted, judging people for the things they've done and killing them. So, if we already have an Egyptian statue on that island in Lost, right, and it's Taweret, who is to say that the smoke monster was not Amit? And that Amit was taking over the forms of people that died on the island? It's possible. It's possible. Had to switch accounts to make Spring a mod. Cool, cool. But yeah, what did everyone else think of the episode? Well, what were your favorite moments? Again, to me, that Sam Raimi moment stands out. And of course, the scene in the unfamiliar surroundings, bathed in white light. Those scenes are great. I also love, you totally disagree with me, same crazy. I think this is a strong MCU villain, even though he's not into damn comics. He is an amalgam of 3 different characters. Harrow, an amalgam. He's not an actual character. Yet, he actually gets these points across. He comes at you like a friend. He has reasons for what he's doing. He feels justified. I think he's a strong villain. I definitely think he's stronger than the villain in the second Thor movie. I definitely think he's stronger than a number of MCU villains, to be honest with you. But yeah, I like him. I like Harrow. Now, we don't always cover games, but I had no choice. And I had to make adjustments to tonight's episode because a little game called Fortnite that some people like. And if you can go on Twitter, get Doomkiller HD's Fortnite creator code. He gets just a little bit of a taste, just a small little taste if you buy some stuff, and you should buy some stuff because what we got Mr. Knight. We got Mr. Knight. We have Moon Knight himself, and even I, Hoarder Gamer, will be getting a Fortnite skin. I almost said a Moon Knight skin. I will actually be getting a Fortnite skin. Does this mean I'm going to play some Fortnite? I guess it would be stupid if I didn't. Now, someone pointed out the Layla skin, but to me it doesn't look like Layla. So I don't know if they were just kidding and they were like, and then here's the Layla skin. But Mr. Knight and Moon Knight look phenomenal. They're really great skins. So definitely check that out if you're so inclined. And I know a lot of people are really loving Fortnite now that they have the no building mode. So much so that it's going to be, I guess, 2 versions of the game. Building and non-building mode. Awesome. It is fire. I fully agree. I was really impressed with both those skins. So much so I had to be like, well, for sure I'm getting Moon Knight. I'd like to get Mr. Knight. I don't know. I will get Moon Knight, though. I've been waiting for an MCU skin. Everyone's getting into Fortnite that was in the Marvel's Avengers community. And once they do that, of course, when Hoarder has an interest, no DC or Marvel skins. It's like they knew. It's like, and like no Star Wars skins. Nothing. Although I guess May 4th we're going to get some really cool Star Wars skins. So that's cool. But I got to figure out who I want to have running around with a machine gun from Star Wars. What doesn't break the narrative too much, right? Rey used a gun, right? I know Finn did. Finn used a gun. Zori, I think Zori is a skin. That's a surprise, though. The bounty hunter Zori, I was not expecting that to be a skin. I love Kylo Ren, but him running around with a machine gun. I don't know if I could psychologically accept that. Yeah, Lando's awesome. Lando would be a great choice. Yeah. I saw a picture of like 4 skins, so I don't even know who's all coming. But Zori was an odd choice of the... When I think of all the Star Wars characters, Zori was not who I expected. Although maybe so many other ones are available already, right? I don't know. But yeah, so that's the gaming moment, talking about that. And we have another itty bitty part of it, you know. Consider the gaming moment really pretty much done for this week. But I would be remiss if I didn't talk about Marv from Sin City, the Hulk skin for Marvel's Avengers. So it actually does look comic accurate. to what it's supposed to be from, the specific issue it's supposed to be from. But it also resembles Marv from Sin City. So if you're a fan of Marvel's Avengers or Sin City, check out that new Hulk skin. And yeah, finally, we're actually getting comic accurate skin for the Hulk. That's really cool. Immortal Hulk is one I would like. And since they made the loot better for Hulk, he's more fun to play now. And I'm actually playing Hulk. I played with Hero Mentor off stream just last week. So yeah, I am not done with Marvel's Avengers. I am not done. Now, you're probably expecting the second comic book review, aren't you? You greedy Gusses, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Okay, now we talk about toys. Where does he get those wonderful toys? I actually made a little folder. I actually thought about this ahead of time. I've had everything covered this time. I didn't screw up anything horrendously like I usually do. That's right. We might have a Hoarder's Comic Flex folder in Hoarder's iPhone. Hoarder might be thinking. You'll get the review. Everybody will get the review soon enough. But some big news happened. Big toy news. Big, juicy toy news you want to sink your teeth into. Just, gobble, gobble. Okay, everybody. So, this is interesting toy news because it's really bizarre. Apparently, the pre-orders and the release dates for the Thor Love and Thunder figures are the same day, April 26th next week. You heard that right. The pre-orders and the release dates are the same day. People have already seen boxes of these toys at Walmart's, which means other stores probably have them too. But Walmart just doesn't sometimes have enough room in their stores, so they put things out on pallets in the aisles. If you ever notice why there's so many pallets in the aisles at any given moment in a Walmart, it's because that location probably doesn't have the largest stock area. But these figures are awesome. We have Mighty Thor, Jane Foster, a jacked Natalie Portman. I mean, not this jacked, but jacked. Looks absolutely amazing. Has a second head with long hair and a helmet. Phenomenal. Yes, Hoarder is going to get that figure. Yes, that is one I will be getting. We have Groot, which is one of the best Groot figures I've seen. We have the villain, Gorr, the God Butcher. And I believe he comes with all black, the Necro Sword, which is also wielded by Null. We'll be mentioning Null later today. Also toy related. But I'm pretty sure that's what that is. It's very dangerous, that sword. Extremely. We have King Valkyrie, because now Valkyrie is the king of Asgard. We have Star-Lord. It's a pretty good Star-Lord figure. We have Ravager Thor. I will be getting Ravager Thor. So for sure, you know, I will be getting Ravager Thor and Mighty Thor. Those two for sure I will be getting. A lot of great detail there. The red jacket, the t-shirt. Comes with Stormbreaker. Although I'm not the biggest fan of that weapon, I think it's cool this figure comes with it. I think that's neat. Then we have the actual just regular, it's called Thor, and he's bright and gold and like blue and red, and it looks neat. It looks cool. It looks very ornate. It's a very ornate looking Thor. But yeah, these are the Marvel Legends series. And again, pre-orders and sales are next week, the 26th, unless something changes. But that's rare. Usually the pre-order happens and the toys are available months later. sometimes 6 months, sometimes a year. In the case of Moon Knight figures, March of 2023 for Marvel Legends. I mentioned on last week's episode, Mr. Knight and Moon Knight. And yeah, they're coming out like March of 2023. But yeah, these are awesome. And now you're going to think I'm the very devil. You're going to think Hoarder Gamer's the devil right now. Because I'm going to tempt you. If you get all of the 7 figures, not saying I am, I'm probably not. But if you decide to get all 7 of them, you can build Korg. That's right. The Build-A-Figure is one of the most popular fan characters from Thor Ragnarok, Korg. So I know a lot of people that are going to be getting Gore and like Star-Lord, all of them, because they want Korg. So, and yes, collectors, you will have to open up your figures to build Korg, but it's a really good looking Korg figure. I believe I had a picture of it that I can describe. Yeah, he has this cool giant club, and he's super detailed, and he's really tall. He looks great. He looks excellent. Also, voiced by Taika Waititi, one of my favorite creators and writers, the director of Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder, as well as one of the creators and actors in What We Do in the Shadows. Now, you'd think that was we were done, right? And any other week we would be done. This would be the end of our toy news. But this week is nuts, people. This week is freaking crazy. So, Marvel Legends was like, let's get nuts. Like Michael Keaton in Batman, when he's talking to Joker. When the Joker comes over to talk to Vicky Vale at her apartment, and he's trying to scare off Joker. Okay, anyway, Marvel Legends, this is something I've been waiting a long time for. Okay, everybody? Like, seriously, I'm psyched for this. Null, the god of the symbiotes, the nightmare of Eddie Brock, and, well, Earth, as it turned out, and Venom, with wings, in a box set from Marvel Legends. A gorgeous set, and luckily none of these are exclusives. Well, none of the ones I'm talking about so far are exclusives. There might be one that I have a picture of that I can bring up. But yeah, here's the issue though. He's not cheap. $77.99. You heard that right. $77.99. You do get an extra head for Null. He also comes with a Necro Sword, but his is different looking. So in the movie, it's going to look different than it does here in Thor Love and Thunder, because I do believe Gore uses the Necro Sword. I might be wrong. If I am, I apologize, but I thought he did. The armor looks amazing on Null. It's an awesome looking figure. It's everything fans have wanted of a Null figure. A lot of detail. It's great. Then you get Venom. Another Venom head with the mouth open and the tongue. Everyone loves the Venom tongue. And gigantic bat-like wings. And an extra pair of hands. All of that together, $77.99. And as I mentioned on Twitter today, I think it's so much because it's like you're getting a third action figure. The price of plastic and everything is probably going up because the price of fuel went up, you know, and that stuff is used in order to make plastics. Anyway, these are big wings, and the amount of plastic in these wings could very well be the equivalent of $22.99 of what they have an action figure for, because these are giant wings. So it's almost like you're getting 3 figures. But then it's still like a nerd tax on there. Because if you take like $22.99 and multiply it by 3, you get like $68 or $69. You don't get 78. So, I mean, I guess if you looked at $24.99 a piece, that's what some places charge for the figures, and not always $22.99. But yeah, it is beautiful. It's a beautiful collection. I know a lot of people are going to bulk on it because of the price. But, I mean, people waited years for a Null figure. And that Null figure alone is gorgeous. Okay. Now we have Ned Leeds and Peter Parker from Spider-Man Homecoming. Ned has the Spider-Man mask in that one scene that he puts it on briefly. The sculpts of both figures look phenomenal. They're great. And I believe this set is $55.99. This doesn't have giant wings with it, though. Or a necro sword. So plan accordingly. If you wanted to have Ned Leeds with giant wings, you have to buy the Null Venom set and I guess glue them on or tape them on or something. I don't think staples would work. Staples probably wouldn't work. Now, this upset people. Okay? This one's an exclusive. Steve Ditko version of Marvel's Lizard. The Spider-Man villain, the Lizard, in the art style of Steve Ditko, so old school but really neat looking, with a gigantic removable tail and like 2 flasks and an extra head. I believe he's $24.99, or he might be $27.99. I apologize. Some of the prices just went up on these figures today, but he's Walmart exclusive, so fans aren't thrilled. They're kind of worried that they may not be able to get him. Walmart doesn't handle this stuff excellently. Like, to give you an idea, let's say they announce, oh, it's going on sale noon in 2 weeks, right? Noon comes around. Wait, where are they? They're gone. Oh, we're sorry. Walmart decided to sell them 20 minutes earlier. That's a bit worrisome there. So hopefully they'll make enough of them for Walmart. It's a great looking Lizard figure. If you're a fan of that character, it's awesome, and I highly recommend it. It's a great depiction of him. Okay, everybody. Now we have Spinneret and Spider-Man. From Marvel's Spider-Man, Renew Your Vows! It's a crazy version of Mary Jane Watson and Peter Parker. This is a nice collection, I gotta say. I believe it's also $55.99. Both figures, alternate heads. One that looks like Mary Jane and the other looks like Spinneret. One that looks like Peter Parker. One that's Spider-Man. And they're both really good sculpts. And it's cool to have basically a jacked version of Mary Jane Watson, because Spinneret was jacked. So it's really cool. It's a cool set, and the sculpts are excellent. And this price is far more reasonable than, Null and Venom. So, yeah. But that's a lot of toy news. Like, usually I'll have, like, one thing to mention. Like, there'll be, like, 1 or 2 toys or something. And also, if anyone has any questions, put those into chat. If there's any books you want me to review, you have any questions on books that came out this week that I didn't review. Because the idea is that each week I'll review 2 books, right? I'm not going to be able to review 4 or 5 books when they come out the same day. Most of the stores around me do not have the new books Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Just Wednesdays. Because of staffing. To me, it makes sense. Also, only the most absolutely hardcore of comic fans is going to go to the comic book shop twice a week, every week. That's just not... It's not sustainable. Like, I'm going to say that of the hardcore, you'd have 5 or 10% of people that would do that. I would guess a lot of comic fans don't even go every week anymore. They probably go every 2-3 weeks or so. But yeah, if you have any questions, books you suggest I should review, books I should check out. If you have questions on any runs of books, I might be able to answer that, you know, if it's a book I read. So, I did get ahead of myself. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry, because I got ahead of myself. And, well, we're done with toy news. We're not done with comic books. We're not ready for a review yet. So I was teasing. And I'm sorry, I actually did not mean to. I didn't plan to tease. But now we're going to talk about the comic books that come out next Wednesday. Again, depending on your store, maybe Tuesday. First off, we have Blood-Stained Teeth. Now, this isn't like 9 Inch Nails with the teeth. With the teeth. No, this isn't that. This is Blood-Stained Teeth. And it's by Christian Ward and Patrick Reynolds. And then it mentions Heather Moore, Hassan Oismani. So I apologize. I don't know. I'm guessing Christian Ward's the writer. Artist is Patrick Reynolds. Heather Moore, possibly the coloring. And then lettering, Hassan Osman Elhao. Issue 1 comes out next Wednesday. And I'm a fan of horror books. I like Image. And here's a little preview. Atticus Sloan, misanthrope, criminal, a-hole, and vampire lives in a world where blood isn't the only thing vamps crave. And for the right price, he'll make you a vampire too. After all, immortality isn't cheap. I think it sounds cool. I think that sounds like a neat book. I'm going to check it out. So that comes out next week. Again, I'm right now going through books that come out next week because we have some reviews for books that came out, you know, today or the day the books come out. And then I like to prepare everybody for next week so you at least know the stuff that's coming out. You can plan ahead. Okay. Next up, if this doesn't get pushed back, because it's gotten pushed back already, this is must-have if it actually does come out next week. I'm sorry, I just got to preface this, you know? Because if it doesn't, I don't want anyone to be upset and be like, you monster hoarder gamer. You ruined my life. I don't want anyone to think that. So, Amazing Spider-Man #1. You heard that correctly. Amazing Spider-Man #1, the new run by Zeb Wells, featuring art by John Romita. This is massive. Peter's on the outs with the Fantastic Four. He's on the outs with the Avengers. He's on the outs with Aunt May. No one wants to see Spider-Man, except for Dr. Octopus. Ox on Spider-Man's tail, and the Master Planner has something truly terrible planned for when he gets his tentacles on Spidey. All that, and what does Tombstone have planned? Also, they make a big point of saying that John Romita Jr. is back just for this run. And Tombstone, the living vampire, I believe it's called the living vampire. I might have that wrong, I apologize. But he's a vampire. He's the big bad for this run. So that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they do with him. Hey, Michael. Hiram Lodge getting his own comic. He should. He should. Here's something really crazy, by the way. This most recent season of Riverdale, I know this seems like a tangent. It really isn't. It's all about comic book heroes and villains this season, which is something they've actually done in the Riverdale comics. They actually had a whole superhero story arc thing. This season, going off the rails is actually a good idea. And it really kind of works for this season. And this bizarre Twilight Zone take they had, which was the first 5 episodes of the season. Like, most fans and even, like, detractors are enjoying this season. Have you seen any of it yet, Mike? There's an interesting villain that is not Hiram Lodge, which is a huge thing. That's what most people are talking about with it. But yeah, that's comic book related, so I think we can talk Riverdale if anyone wants to. Yeah, I kid you not. Off the rails, yes, but wildly entertaining this season. Because they changed the rules and now it's a world of superheroes and supervillains. So even if it's just a one-season thing, it's cool. But yeah, that Amazing Spider-Man 1, if it does come out April 27th, next week, it's going to be huge. That's going to be one of the biggest books out this year. So keep that in mind. There's many covers for it. I think there's like 6 or 7. So I'm sure they'll have a cover you'll enjoy. Another big book from Marvel, Knights of X, everybody. Because 12 Marvel books wasn't enough for X-Men a month. Here's the 13th. Now, you know, I might be wrong. Maybe one of them is ending and this takes the place. But there's at least 12 Marvel books. And this is the Knights of X. The quest begins here, where mutants are hated and feared once again. The gates to Otherworld are closed, and Captain Britain is trapped on the wrong side. Usurpers Merlin and his right-hand man, King Arthur, are now in control of Lunatic Citadel. Theories the size of sentinels raise villages to the ground in their hunt for the witch breed. Cut off from Krakoa, Betsy Braddock is Otherworld's only hero, and to save her people, Betsy must recruit a round table of her own. The Knights of X gather to restore the rightful order and rescue desperate mutants. I think it sounds really cool. I think it sounds really cool. Tiny Howard, really cool writer. I think it sounds awesome. This sounds like almost a swords and sorcery version of X-Men. So I would probably definitely give it a shot. Next up, Carnage issue 2. If you like Venom, you kind of have to get this book. You have no choice. Because it's the writer of Venom. It's Ram V. Ram V recently signed an exclusivity deal with DC Comics, but I don't know exactly when it starts. It might be next year. I don't know. But yeah, Ram V. Art is by Francesco Manna. And yeah, it's basically Carnage, but maybe not Cletus. Hey, Synchro, how you doing? Venom is pretty cool. Synchro, what did you think of the box set they announced today? Did you see it? Or I think they announced it yesterday, went on sale today. Null and Venom. I thought it was awesome. Just gorgeous. The price is nuts, but it's still gorgeous. And if anyone's interested in any of these books, feel free to ask me something. I can get you some more detail if you need. I've got like the information and pictures right here in front of me. We're not actually going to a website this time. It's all in a folder. I can just choose each picture. Makes it much easier. Much easier. Thor issue 26. This is big, everybody. So this is basically the 750th issue of Thor, even though it's issue 26. And writers and artists are doing all sorts of stories and things like that. So this will be like a celebration of Thor. So if you're a Thor fan, about to make the sight for Thor eyes joke, but I'm not going to. Even though I just did. You probably want to get this book. If you like Thor, you need to get this book. But yeah, that's going to be really cool. It's going to be a little bit more expensive. I think it's going to be like probably $7 or something like that, but it's a big book. And that's usually what they do for something that's like an anniversary type of thing. Again, 750th issue of a Thor book. Everybody, we're going on to DC Comics. We started with Image, then Marvel. Now we're in DC Comics with Action Comics. Action Comics has been one of the best Superman books in a long time. And there's a number of really good ones, including Superman the Superman book is now technically Superman's son. That book is really good too. It's also really cool because it gives focus and how do I want to say this? Focus and the spotlight to the LGBTQIA community. So that's really cool too. But yeah, Action Comics is really good. This is a great run of that book. If you're a fan, I highly recommend it. Action Comics is a book I get every month. That's one of my regular books right there. So is Venom. So is Hulk. Best place to buy old comics. Oh my God, Mike, that's challenging because a lot of people have them graded. And just by having them graded, it makes them even more expensive. Because that's an expensive process to even pay for. So, hard to say. I mean, I don't think you're going to get great prices on eBay. Going to local comic shops, LCSs, and seeing what they have might be the best bet. We have issue 2 of Batman Beyond the White Knight. This is an insane retelling of Batman Beyond. Issue 1 kicked ass. I expect issue 2 will as well. Written by Sean Murphy and art by Dave Stewart. So, yeah, looking forward to that. That comes out also next week. It's issue 2. Dark Knights of Steel. Great series by Tom Taylor. Basically, swords and sorcery with Batman and Superman. It's really neat. Taking place in the past, alternate history type stuff. It's cool. It's cool. It's like the Marvel book, I believe it's called Dark Ages. Also by Tom Taylor, same writer. That's crazy, by the way. It wasn't always like that, where a writer could work on a Marvel DC book at the same time. Things have gotten really interesting in comics, let me tell you. It used to be constant exclusivity agreements, and you almost couldn't even breathe the other company's name. Like, it's really cool. DC Pride 2021. It's going to be a collection of stories involving The Question, Batwoman, Apollo and Midnighter, Green Lantern. I apologize. I can't tell if it's Guy Gardner or who that is in the picture. But yeah, it looks really cool. Representation is awesome. And yeah, that comes out. The graphic novel, I think it's going to be, I don't know the price for that. It's probably going to be, I'm guessing $20 or so. It's usually what graphic novels are now. Detective Comics issue 1059. This is also a book I get every month. I love Batman. So I get Batman and Detective Comics. Those are 2 books I get every month. So, okay, everybody. This is a massive freaking event. Massive. Absolutely massive. This will lead into something called Dark Crisis. Death of the Justice League. Death of the Justice League. This has nothing to do with Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, the game from Rocksteady that's coming out next year. This is the final issue of Justice League, issue number 75, and it's going to basically change everything. And it's a big deal. Like, it's the final issue of Justice League until they, like, relaunch it at some point in the next few months or so. And again, it's going to go into Dark Crisis. So, yeah, that's going to be big. So you have a big Spider-Man book, a huge Spider-Man book, a huge Thor book, and a huge Justice League book coming out next week. So comic fans are going to be really happy, I think, with that. This book has been cool. Rogues. Basically, it's Captain Cold and the Rogues, and it's really a beautiful artwork written by Williamson, and it's one of the Black Label books, which unfortunately means one thing: it's hard to store them. DC Black Label, it's cool that they're larger than normal books, but I mean, you have to buy different backing boards and bags for them, and you know, they fit well on a bookshelf, but not so well in a long box or short box. But yeah, I mean, the books themselves are good. Like, a lot of the Black Label stuff has been awesome. Joker issue 14. Final issue of the Joker. James Tynion has basically narrowed down on the projects he's working on. And, yeah, Joker was one that got narrowed down, I guess you could say. It's an awesome book. It took like 60-some years for Joker to have an ongoing book. And I don't know if they're going to have someone else take over and do another volume at this point. It's not clear. But yeah, that's a really cool book. If you're not reading it and you like the Joker as a character, I do recommend it. So do we have any questions on any books coming out or any reviews or anything? Any of those books that you would like me to review that I mentioned? Speak now if I ever hold your peace. See, I don't see any questions here. I'll just give everybody a moment if they have any questions. If you could only buy one book this week, what would you get? This upcoming week? Oh, God. That's hard. If it was only one, I'd have to narrow it down to Spider-Man 1 or Justice League 75. It'd have to be one of those two. I mean, I love the character Carnage, and I love Ram V, but my God, to see the new run of Spider-Man from issue 1 and to see John Romita Jr. doing art. And I feel that a lot of things are going to change with Justice League 75, and I've read a lot of those issues. I read a lot of those 75 issues. There were different writers and artists, so it's like different kind of like runs in you know, that series that started with Rebirth again. But yeah, it would have to be both of those. I couldn't narrow it down to one of those. But yeah, if I could only get 2 issues, it would be the new issue of them. Is it Amazing? I think it was Amazing Spider-Man 1, and then Justice League 75. Any other questions or suggestions of any of those books that I should review? Should I review Justice League 75 next week, everybody? Because right now, I'll be honest, I'm leaning Spider-Man 1 and Justice League 75. That's where I'm leaning. Bloodstained Teeth is way up there, too. Because I love a good horror comic book, and I love vampire books. Little Monsters was the vampire book that we reviewed about, 2 weeks ago, I think? And that was really good. I really like that. Oh, okay, if anyone has any questions or suggestions or anything, feel free to put those in chat. Right now it's time for the second comic book review. And what do we have this week? Well, everybody, we have, and look at this gorgeous cover. Look at this gorgeous cover. Captain America Zero. Captain America Zero. And it's a double-sided, beautiful cover. Just awesome. I think it unfolds. Does it unfold? Oh, no, it's just 2 sides, but they're really cool. Here comes the review, everybody. Review incoming. Coming in hot. And not like a bad way, like when a video game comes in hot. No, hot as in good. As in good. Or as good as the writing of my review is, I guess. Captain America Zero review. Written by Tochi Onibuchi, Jackson Lanzig, and Colin Kelly. Art by Mattia De Lius. This is a simple jumping off point for 2 Captain America books they're about to launch. One with Steve Rogers and the other with Sam Wilson. What could have been a throwaway advertisement for those upcoming series is a rollicking adventure that examines what it means to be American and stand against fascism. It's also freaking beautiful, with gorgeous painted art. Arnim Zola is about to launch a super-fast rocket, and once it reaches a set point, the rocket will alter human DNA into some sort of dinosaur DNA because Zola thinks we failed as a species, and this is a genetic reset. Both Sam and Steve team up to stop him as Arnim pulls out all the stops and tries to convince them that humanity and America are flawed and broken. And as the reader, we find out that 2 captains are better than 1. If you have any interest in Captain America, you need to grab this book. The execution in art and writing are flawless. Very high recommendation. Very high. So that was Captain America 0. And as I mentioned, it's basically a lead-in to 2 separate ongoing books. The first one is Captain America Symbol of Truth, and that's going to focus on Sam Wilson. And the second one is Captain America Sentinel of Liberty. And Jackson Lanzing and Colin Kelly are doing Sentinel of Liberty. And Tochi Anabuchi and R.B. Silva are doing Symbol of Truth. So it's going to be 2 Captain America books every month now. So, but yeah, I highly recommend you get this. If you have any interest in Captain America, this is a gorgeous hand-painted book. I believe it's $4.99. It is longer than a normal issue. It's not 20 pages. It's longer than that. And yeah, kicks ass. It kicks ass. So, okay, everybody, do I have any questions or any suggestions of any books that I should review next week? Again, right now I'm really leaning towards that Spider-Man and Justice League 75. Again, if they come out, if there's not an issue. If there's not an issue with those comics... Yes, the jokes don't get any better, folks. They don't. You can ask Synchro about that. They don't get any better. What's something you read that you never thought to read but surprised you? It is amazing that you asked that question, Synchro. Absolutely amazing, because it was tonight that I felt like a royal jackass for not reading the Ice Cream Man series before. I apologize. It's a bright color. It's hard to see the cover. One of the best horror, sci-fi, just weird, crazy, absurd anthologies I've read. It's awesome. It's awesome. And instead of like a Rod Serling, like I mentioned in the review earlier in this episode, it's the innocuous seeming Ice Cream Man who is somehow where all these things are happening. It's really cool. Something a little bit after that, though, or before that, I mean, would be Moon Knight. Jed McKay's run on Moon Knight, which I constantly harp about. I'm like, hey, everybody, get the Midnight Mission. I believe it's $17.99. It's a trade paperback, and it's the Jed McKay run of Moon Knight. It's the first 5 issues. The first 5 issues. The Midnight Mission. But yeah, it's awesome. Well, both are awesome, but for different reasons. Any other questions or suggestions or anything at all like that, anyone? Yeah, these episodes run about a half hour, maybe an hour at the most. And I'll do another one next week. Same time, 8 p.m. Central, on the Doom Squad Gaming YouTube channel. Thank you, Doom Killer. Thank you, Doom Squad. Of which I am a member. I love to say that. I love to say that. And I love to have the pause there. It's just fun. Oh, no problem, Synchro. But yeah, Ice Cream Man is really good. I just I can tell you about it right now. Give me 1 second. They also in here have an ad for Ice Cream Man Sunday Edition, Sundae, and it's a hardcover volume, oversized deluxe hardcover of the first 12 issues. And the Ice Cream Man is smiling as he hands you a poisonous spider in the picture. See? Again, I apologize. It's hard to see with the lighting, but there's the Ice Cream Man. There's the spider. A beautiful foil cover, oversized hardcover. Yeah, this is issue 29, so it's been going on about 2.5 years. Everybody, I want to thank you all very much for watching. I greatly appreciate you watching. Hoarder. Sorry. The title's different now. The title changed, and I have to remember that. Gotta beat that into here. Thank you very much for watching Hoarder's Comic Flex. Thank you. I don't think we have any other questions. But yeah, thank you very much, everybody. And at 10 p.m. Central, I will be on Twitch playing a game. Probably Star Wars Lego. I'm guessing Star Wars Lego. Unless someone wants to play Marvel's Avengers. Maybe that. Maybe that. But that'd be at 10 p.m. Central. So it gives me a nice hour to set up and get that all ready. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next week on Hoarder's Comic Flex. Thank you very much, and have a great one, everybody. Bye-bye.